Rainbow Order. All ships and submarines of the Kriegsmarine not suitable for fishing or mine clearing have to be sunk in order to not have them hand over to the enemy. Okay. So I've just loaded in, and this is the first message that we've received. I'm trying to load up the ship here ready to go. So we've had a notification that all ships must be destroyed. We don't really want to do that if we can get away with it. So I'm not really keen to scuttle the ship. I think we'll continue. And we'll see if we're going to be allowed to get ourselves a mission here. Still got a little bit of loading up to do. A few torpedoes and stuff. But I'm hoping that we can get out of the port just before the deadline. Whenever that may be. Otherwise it's going to be a very short episode. But the boat looks to be in pretty good condition. Just need to load up these torpedoes and then we'll be allowed to be on our way. So let's see what's going to happen. And more mail. On the 30th of April, the Führer has fallen with his soldiers in a heroic battle for Germany in Berlin. Grand Admiral Donitz takes over the political leadership and supreme command of the German troops. The battle of our people goes on. Okay. So we might be able to get out of here and take ourselves a mission. We'll talk to the Admiral, see what he's got. Seems like we're going to be able to get a mission in here, which is good. There's not really many options, but this one should be quite entertaining. And it says that there's a battleship last seen in the area, so we might actually be able to get out there and maybe sink a battleship. That would be quite handy. I've wanted to get one of those under my belt for the entire campaign, but we actually haven't come across a battleship yet. So yeah, they are closing in on Germany, but it's not updating too much. So Germany is still semi-free, but really they're probably surrounded Berlin right now. So we're going to head up to the north of Scotland here, and we're going to hopefully find ourselves a battleship, or at least some good-sized convoys that we can try and deal with. Okay, some more mail. My submarine men, 6 years of submarine warfare are behind us. You fought like lions. An overwhelming superiority has pushed us together in a very small space. It is no longer possible to continue the fight from the remaining port. Submarine men, unbroken and flawless, you lay down your arms after an unparalleled heroic battle. We remember with awe our fallen comrades who sealed their loyalty for the fatherland with their death. Comrade, keep your brave submarine spirit, with which you have fought valiantly and undeterred for many years, also in the future for the good of the fatherland. Long live Germany. Well, looks like we can't return to base, but I don't know if we can still continue, but we are just going to keep going until time expires or whatever happens. I'm not really sure. I'm sure there's going to be some ships out here that we can find and try and sink before we have to do anything else. Well, we've just avoided a group of warships there, and here we go. We've got another large group, nice big juicy convoy here for us, so we'll start plotting an interception for them. We'll head towards it. Looks like they're heading towards us as well. That's pretty useful. So hopefully those warships haven't detected us. It looked like we got away from them quite easily, but we'll just plot out a course for these guys here. Nice long line that we can keep an eye on. Check what roughly their direction of travel is. 37 degrees. So we shall lay right here and we'll wait for them to approach. And hopefully we're going to bag ourselves a few nice big ships. Hopefully the Nelson's in here as well. Okay, they're in hydrophone contract with us, but they're a little bit closer than I would have liked, so let's start taking a look. Got a destroyer very close to us that's going to have to go. Got a nice big tanker here. Well, that's pretty much going to be our 10,000 tons that we need, but we're obviously here to take down a lot more than we have to. So 37 degrees is their direction. So I'm thinking this lead destroyer is going to have to go. It's going to be one of the first, and then that's going to open up an opportunity for us to attack other freighters. We might be able to get a double shot off here. Okay, we've got a big Kirov class cruiser in the middle. It's not the Nelson, unfortunately. So I don't know if the Nelson is in this convoy. I don't know how the Nelson travels around. It might be in a small group of warships. It was not in the small group of warships we evaded before. I did look, because I would have much rather taken down the Nelson on our final outing. But a nice big convoy will just have to do for us today. So let's jump into the periscope and we can start working out how we're going to take this thing apart. Not very good weather by the looks of things. Can't really see too well. So we're going to go destroyer first, and then maybe we'll take a pop shot at one of the freighters. So there's a nice C3 there for us. Here's our destroyer. So they're obviously doing 7 knots and 37 degrees. Now it's just a matter of trying to recognize the right one, which I always struggle to do that. I've been playing this game for quite some time and I still can't recognize everyone. So I'll put EF class, kind of looks like it. Well within range. Let's get that red light on because I can't really see that well. Now we're going to shoot at that, but we also want to take a shot, probably something like this tanker here. So you're also 37, 7 knots. Distance, we better recognize you first. Tanker, not really sure exactly which tanker that is. It looks like a wave. Could be a wave. Definitely not that. Could be a T2. Not too sure about that. Could be any one of these, to be honest. LST kind of suits. It's got that big funnel at the back. So we'll roll with that. So we're going to launch 2 torpedoes at this tanker here, and then when we've worked out the difference between that and that destroyer, then we shall fire upon the destroyer, and hopefully we are going to get 2 hits, or 4 hits, but 2 ships. So you double check your distance again just to be sure. Well within the range, and we'll just draw a little line on the map so that we know when we are going to fire our next shots. So yeah, about 1.2 kilometers away. We'll start getting ready on the periscope just to be sure. Don't want to miss our opportunities. Now I don't think we want to be sending a cold torpedo at this destroyer. One might be enough to do the job for us. Okay, we got the strike on the destroyer here. Hopefully it's going to be enough. It looks like it's slowing right down. But no fire on board yet, so not sure. But hopefully that's going to at least just leave it sitting here dead in the water. Would be nice if it went down. And we'll just have to quickly have a look because our other 2 torpedoes must be quite close to their target by now. So if this ship could hurry up and sink. Oh, it looks like it might. That's good going. Let's see how well we're going to do with our other ship here. Okay, only 1 hit here on this tanker. And looking at it from here, I've recognized it wrong. It was a wave class, not an LST. So that's probably why we've only hit with 1 torpedo. Should have probably spent a little bit more time on the recognizing there, but that's shouldn't really be too much of an issue. Done a fair bit of damage to it, but doesn't look like it's going to be enough to sink it, unfortunately. So we're diving away to try and evade any ships that might be coming our way now. So hopefully we'll just keep an eye on this thing. And if it's going to sink, then it'll be great. If it's not, if it's going to just be plodding along at the back of the convoy, then we'll be okay with that as well. But we've got a couple of big destroyers lurking at the back, and now we've got some fast craft coming our way. Now that ship is sitting dead in the water now, so we will leave a couple of marks right there for it, and we'll come back and finish that up with the deck gun if we can. But for right now, I think we want to try and get over to this northwest side of the convoy. A couple of good targets there for us. We want to get away from these destroyers that are trying to chase us down right now. There's a couple of good ships available. There's a C3, I think. Yep. We'll try and get ahead of this and make an attack on that. Okay, we're back with the convoy. Looks to have gotten a little bit brighter out as well, so it's going to be good. We can actually see what we're trying to attack. We won't be misrecognizing anything this time. So a nice juicy C3 cargo ship here for us. Let's see if we can get that all organized in the recognize. There you are, back at the beginning. Still doing the same course as they were before, just hoping that they've calmed down enough since the last attack. So let's do a quick speed check. Hopefully they're doing 7 knots and not 6 or 8. Okay, and we'll stop the clock there. 7 knots, perfect. Ready for 2 torpedoes. Should be more than enough to do the job for us. C3 cargoes can be quite tough though, so hopefully it will do the work. 1 and 2, fire away. Two nice good hits there on our C3. There's masts falling over, so we know she's in trouble. And she kind of looks like she's just drifting now. Doesn't look like the engines are still going. A little bit of a fire on. Hopefully it's going to be enough to do the work. Otherwise we are not really having the best success rate with torpedoes yet, but damage is going down fast. Damage isn't really that bad actually. Probably not going to be enough to sink her, unfortunate. Might have to just send a T5 to finish the job. Oh, there we go, the damage is done. Now she just needs to take on the water, so hopefully that's going to be good. If she goes down, that's a long way towards our registered tonnage, so we'll just keep an eye on. See what's going to happen here. And then we'll get down to the other side of the convoy again. Kind of just zigzag our way across it every time we do an attack, so that means that the enemy destroyers go one way and I go another, and as long as we keep outrunning them, then we can pretty much be all good to just keep attacking. But there's a Kirov class. Oh, there goes the C3, disappeared on me, but doesn't look like she's sunk, so I guess we're never going to know, unfortunately. But we'll come back into the area at some point, and if it's still sitting here, then we'll try and finish it up with the deck gun. But for now, we're going to keep moving. More attacks to do on this convoy. Okay, time to take out one of the big guns here. Looks like we've got 2 Kirov class cruisers that are sticking together. And we're going to need to get rid of at least 1. Would be good if we could get rid of 2, but I don't think we have enough torpedoes to be doing that kind of work here today. We do want to get some tonnage sunk first. That's our main priority, but the Kirov class is kind of a bit of a worry for us, so we do want to try and get rid of 1. So recognize you, cruisers, not a county class, you are Kirov. Punch in your course. Good thing about the Kirov cruisers is that they don't really deviate too much away from the convoy, but we will do a quick speed check just to be sure. Hasn't been long since our last attack, and hopefully they're just cruising along at 7 knots. And 7 knots it is, and we only have cold torpedoes, so hopefully we don't have any duds. I think we should be alright. They're not the early game torpedoes, so we should be okay. So tube 2 and 3, fire away. Nice big fire on board the Kirov here. That deck is just blazing up hard. So hopefully it's going to be enough to do the work. But we can never be sure, so we'll just have to sit here and wait. Hopefully she's going to go down. Damage is not quite as bad as it looks, unfortunately, so... Well, that fire's doing a little bit more. If that keeps going, then that's going to be good news. I do have a T5 in the chamber, and seeing as it's a homing torpedo, we could probably launch that, and that might just be enough to finish that one off for us. I don't think I'm going to attack the other Kirov class just yet. I want to save some torpedoes so we can try and sink some more cargo. So yeah, I think it might be a case of jumping on and getting a T5 away here. Fires are spreading though. She is listing hard to starboard, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Oh, she is listing real hard actually. Okay, well we are travelling away, so we've got the arse end of our submarine looking at it, so we may as well send a T5 straight to it, and a T5 should probably be more than enough to finish the job up for us. Just double check our distance so it sends off an accurate torpedo. It's going to be a cold one, but hopefully not an issue. Yep, so distance looks about right. So T5, tube number 5. Let's get it in the water. Well, unfortunately, the torpedo has intercepted with the other Kirov class destroyer. So, not going to be doing the job that we needed. Didn't finish up the other one, and now this one's just going to be partially damaged as well. So that kind of sucks, but it is what it is. So, we are not going to be able to sink that, that's for sure. I don't want to waste any more torpedoes on these Kirovs. It looks like one of them might be sitting dead in the water anyway. Is it going to be worth us launching a torpedo at it? Not really sure. See if we can still see it. It might be worth attempting. I don't know what that is over there, but our Kirov should be a little bit closer, enough to see. So that looks like the one we just hit with a T5. We don't have one in the chamber anyway. Right, so I guess we're going to have to leave it then. Well, she is quite heavily damaged actually after taking that. So that's 2 heavily damaged Kirovs, but not damaged enough to sink apparently. So we're going to get moving, and we'll see what happens after this. Might be a couple more ships here we can try and make an attack on. Okay, so I'm just disconnecting from that convoy, and we're going to come back and try and finish up some of these ships that we attacked previously. There's a couple of dots here on the map that we need to check, so let's just get over here and see what we're dealing with, and then we can try and pick ourselves up another convoy in a little bit. We just don't want to be wasting too many torpedoes on those Kirovs. I'd rather sink a couple of Liberties or C3s, whatever's around for us, so we'll just move in here and see what it is that didn't sink over here, because the convoy's all broken into a few pieces now anyway. Okay, so we've got a lifeboat here. There's a wreckage, so we did sink something. I can't remember what this would have been. but whatever it was is gone, so not too bad. Hasn't seemed to have registered anything for us on the map here though. It says we're still on 0 of 10,000 tons. So we'll come down here and see what this one is. I think it might be a destroyer. Can't remember where that C3 cargo ship was, but and we've also got that tanker. I don't know if that's been dealt with yet as well. So the tonnage is there for us. We just need to get in there and finish it up with the deck gun. So we've got some ship masts in sight. Let's take a look. I want to get a bit closer obviously because we are going to be using the deck gun. So here's the C3 sitting dead. So a few shots on the deck gun and that should be good enough for a few thousand tons. And then I think there was one more. So the reason we didn't get any tonnage is probably because that was a destroyer that we sunk up to the north there. That makes sense. So we have this C3 probably a little bit far away for the deck gun. We'll try and line it up. No, that looked like a hit. Not too bad. So we'll launch a few shots, try and sink this, and then I think we'll go and see if we can see if that tanker is still sitting dead in the water as well. And if we sink both of those, that will be our 10,000 tons, and then we'll try and seek out another convoy if we can. Well, that looks like it's done the job for us. A few more shots than we would have liked, but it is what it is, and I think one more for luck. Just to make sure. She does look like she's slowly slipping under the waves there though. So there's a few thousand tons towards our total tally for the day. So here's our tanker, just trying to line up the shot. It's a little bit of a tough one. Quite hard to gauge. That was a good hit. It's a little bit wobbly out here. Seem to be falling short on quite a few of these shots, but we'll get there in the end. We've got plenty of ammunition, and I can't see her taking too many shots to go down. So we'll just keep going. See, if they fall short like that, they're not going to work, are they? So just keep going. She's taking a few more shots than I would have liked. But she will go down in the end. We'll make sure. Should really just move in a bit closer and deal with it, but there's another ship not too far away from us, and I don't want to be deviating too far. So she's definitely going down though. Getting a lot lower into the water. A couple of more shots and she'll be done, and then we'll figure out what this other ship is around us. I'm aware that I've damaged 4 ships, because I don't know what that one that was up in the north where the lifeboats were. Could have been nothing. But she's gone, so that should be our registered tonnage dealt with the C3 and that one. So what is this thing? This looks like the destroyer that I thought was up to the north. So we'll try and cause a bit of damage and get rid of it, whatever it is. A little bit far away. Could close in a bit more, but deck gun practice is always good. And it's the last episode, so we might as well just keep doing the business. So, has anybody else played this campaign? Anyone who's watching? I know there is a few people watching. So, have you yourself played this campaign, or are you just watching me play the campaign. And how did it end for you? I don't really know what's going to happen for us in this episode. It says we've had a report that we can't return to base. So I don't know if we have to go to one of the neutral countries or how is it going to end for us, but let me know what your experience was and let me know that you've enjoyed this series so far. Now that it's coming to an end, don't really know what we're going to do after. But there we go, that destroyer has sunk as well now. So we've done our 10,000 tons. So we'll tidy up the map. And then I think we'll get back on patrol. Try and pick ourselves up another convoy. And hopefully we'll find something just as big and juicy as what there was there previously. Better get back down to periscope depth just in case. Don't know what's going to be around. Probably a lot of destroyers around in this area, I would imagine, so best to stay out of sight. Okay, we've picked ourselves up some hydrophone contact. 19 to 43 ships, that is massive. We do not have enough torpedoes to be dismantling the whole thing, but we will have a bloody good go. We'll have to try and pick out the best targets that we can for the most amount of tonnage. So they kind of look like they're on a similar line to the previous convoy. Not quite, but similar. Must be heading to the same place. All heading up into Russia, perhaps. So let's get into it and see what they've got to say. Well, well, well. It's not the Nelson, but we do have an aircraft carrier in this convoy. Something I haven't seen in this game for quite some time now. An old aircraft carrier. And it's only fitting that on the final episode we get to sink one if we can. So let's get it recognized. So it's not that one, it's the Illustrious with the cab in the middle of the bridge. So definitely doing 7 knots because we haven't detected anything, haven't been detected by anything yet. So she's ready for an attack, but she's just a little bit far away. So we are going to have to let them close in on us. Now she's almost leading the way as well in this convoy, so that's quite handy. Now why are these ships all heading in slightly different directions? That's a little bit concerning. But our main target seems to be sticking with the course. So that's going to be 2 torpedoes coming away for this aircraft carrier. It's going to take away any aircraft that might decide to attack us when we do later attacks as well. Unless they're coming from mainland, which I doubt. So where is she? She was leading the charge. She must be right up front somewhere. There she is. So double check on the distance. Couple of torpedoes. Always good to get an aircraft carrier. And last episode it's going to be a good one to put an aircraft carrier down. Did want to get the Nelson, but you've got to take what comes your way. Well, we've got 2 good hits on the carrier. Now that should definitely put her out of action. Normally it's enough to sink an aircraft carrier, and these ones on deck aren't moving. So let's just see if she's going to go down. Well, there's an aircraft there. Bit of a weird launch, but can't take it too seriously, I guess. Didn't see it launch off the boat itself. So hopefully that's the only one that they're going to send, and it's not going to be able to return to the ship anyway. Let's speed up a little bit of time and see. She is listing quite hard. Seems to be sinking. If not, we can always come back. Oh yep, she just needs to take on some water. Might possibly have to put 1 or 2 rounds with the deck gun into this just to make sure. kind of looks like she's just going to sit here dead in the water now. But that's not really too much of an issue. So let's start heading north and we'll stick with this convoy. And there's a few destroyers coming our way, so we might need to throw one of these pills out of the back. We could launch a T5 at something maybe. Not really sure if that's worth it. Probably best to just avoid any contact with this convoy. Just send a pill out of the back and then we can re-engage a little bit later on. And we'll try and sink that aircraft carrier with the deck gun if we have to later. So I think we'll make a clean getaway here and we'll see if we can take out a couple of ships on the other side of the convoy now. Looks like there's plenty here for us to try and take away. Okay, so they've changed course drastically. Looks like they're heading off to the northeast. So let's just get a good reading on this Liberty. She was traveling a little bit fast. So let's just double check, see if the speed has gone back down to where it should be now. And if it is, then we'll get 2 torpedoes in the tubes. Okay, 7 knots it is. 2 torpedoes coming your way. Hopefully we've got more torpedoes. We're not loading tube number 4. Hopefully that's because he's maintaining tube number 2. But fire. Okay, there we go, 2 good hits on the Liberty. Nice big fire on the decks. Should be more than enough to cause some serious damage and register ourselves a few tonnage. Okay, it doesn't look as bad as it is. Or it looks worse than it is, so that kind of sucks. Let's try quickly launch tube number 5. And hope that it's going to hit this Liberty. I just want to make sure that we sink some ships today. And it looks like we've only got 1 left. So I don't know what we're going to do about that. Now we have completed the patrol and it says mission failed. So we can't return to port obviously. So I think we're going to have to just die like men and go down with the ship, unfortunately. It's not how I wanted it to end, but this Liberty looks like she's actually in pretty bad nick. She's going to go down. So hopefully tube number 5 is going to detour off and hit something else. And what I'm planning is, I think we're just going to surface the boat and we're just going to go guns blazing. And we'll try and take down something with us, but inevitably we will probably get sunk because there's a few destroyers around here. So you get up on the deck gun and let's just start launching shots at people and see what's going to happen. We've already got a bit of damage, so no, it doesn't really matter. We're going to go down anyway, and we've failed the mission apparently. So I can't seem to get my guy here with the medikits to come and take care of this soldier. But we don't have time for that anyway. We're in a pretty nasty spot right now. So we want to be picking pretty much anything. There's probably going to be some destroyers coming away to try and shoot us. But we're actually in a fairly decent spot right now where we can just launch shots away at some of these cargo ships. So let's try and do that. Try and get a sneaky cargo ship in before the major rain of shells come towards us. So what's this thing here? Might be like a Liberty or something. We'll just launch at that. and we'll just keep shooting, and if we go down, we go down, but there's really nothing else that we can do. We might as well. We've got an enemy destroyer at 10 o'clock. But we're right by this ship here. We might as well try and cause as much damage as possible. So she's trying to get away. We don't want that to happen. And where's this destroyer? So we might struggle to tangle with a destroyer right now. We want to make sure of, there we go, we've got one racing in towards us. What do we want to do about that? Well, there's quite a few actually. We'll just let them circle around. We'll try and catch up with something else. Get back up onto the surface. And then we'll carry on, try and sink something. There's more destroyers. It's a risky business this is. But we'll try and get around it. If I can take down one or two more of these boats before we have an all-out battle on the surface. Probably gonna inevitably go down, but we might as well. It's been a good time playing the game. It's been a great series for me. I've enjoyed it, and there's really no other option for us right now. We may as well just go all guns blazing, see what we can do. I don't even know if we're actually gonna, well, we're definitely not gonna register anything with the Admiralty after this, are we? Because we're gonna be mission failed. So we'll just keep fighting. That's all we can do. Okay, well, we're definitely causing damage to this empire here. Hopefully we can get this thing down. I know I can see that there's a destroyer coming right at us in the distance. So may as well try and finish the job off here. Just start turning away from it because it seems to be coming right at me. I don't know if that's a good tactic for me or for them. But she's got a fire on board, that's good. That might be enough for her to go down. We'll fire a couple more shots. And there's a destroyer right there heading for us. Probably gunning it at 20 plus knots. So we will start trying to throw some shots. She's shooting at us. See if we can cause a little bit of damage. I tell you, if I manage to sink a destroyer and stay alive, I'm going to be pretty heavy with that. I've done it before with a corvette, but obviously they take a lot less shots to put down than one of these big destroyers. So let's keep fighting. Well, she's definitely dishing out a lot of damage on us, and I can't tell if that black on the front is all from shots that we've done, or if it's part of the ship design, but she's definitely getting some hits on us right now. are definitely getting some hits on her as well. But that just looks like a black tip of the ship, not actually from the damage that I've caused. Or is it? No, I think it is. So we're right next to her. We'll try and put a few holes in it. And hopefully she's going to go down before me, but I can't be sure. Come on, one more shot in the back. Come on. Okay, now we're trying to turn round to the starboard because we can't see anything. Unfortunately, I wish I had a deck gun at the back of the boat. Oh, damn, she's causing serious damage. Come on. I need one more shot. Well, I need 10 more shots. Come on. Can't see anything left or right. Okay, what about if we jump up onto the flak gun? If we get on the flak, we can definitely send a few shots with that. Hopefully cause a bit of damage. I don't think we're going to be able to sink this destroyer, but I am keen. Here we go, we've got flak gun. We'll just keep shooting at it. I don't think it's going to do much, but why not? Going down with style is what I like to think. If we can cause a little bit of damage. Doesn't look like we've sunk that Empire in the distance. So let's just keep going. Just keep going. Try and get her down. Ultimately, I'm just waiting for the end. Our demise, our death. It's obviously going to happen, but if we can delay it, I don't think we're going to be able to recover the boat from this position. Heavily damaged. Captain's dead already. He was killed in action on the deck gun. That must have been quite painful. But this ship is definitely circling back around, coming in for another attack. But our brave soldiers are just going to keep fighting right until the last moment. If the boat goes down, well, it's been glorious. And who doesn't want to go down with their ship to crushing depth? Not me, thanks. I would have been much more keen to scuttle the ship back at port and take my medals away. Yep, so we are not looking too healthy. Seem to be going down slowly. But this destroyer also doesn't seem to be shooting much rounds at us. Which is a little bit just too far away for us to use this gun though. So we'll just keep shooting and see what happens. Well, U-764 gave it a bloody good go, but it looks like this is her final descent under the waves. The enemy destroyers caused enough damage to us now that we're not going to be able to recover from this. Unfortunately, we are bobbing around a little bit, but we are slowly sinking our way down. So let's get in here and we will see how bad the damage is in just a second, but there are red lights everywhere. Let's take a look. There is symbols everywhere that tell us everything is heavily damaged, so boat doesn't look too good. Heaps of black dents everywhere in the boat. Going down, sinking like a stone right now. So not good, but it's been a great campaign. We got there in the end, and that's how the war ends for U-764. Let's take a look at the boat. Not going to be able to stay in that camera mode all the way down, so let's just take a look. We've got a few people dead, just damage everywhere. See if we can turn the lights on so we can actually see. We've got heaps of water inside. There's no way that we can repair this. We've got another guy dying. He's about to die soon. So that's the end of it for U-764, unfortunately. Everybody's going to pass away. We've got one guy still alive somewhere in the boat here, I don't know where. Well, we've got our last brave soldier just hiding away here in the bunks. Looks like he's got the doors closed and just waiting for death. So good on him. There we go. Confirmation. Defeat. Unfortunate. Wouldn't have liked it to end this way, but that's how it seems to have gone. But we did alright. We did a good campaign. Sunk plenty of ships. Unfortunately, we just can't do anything more from here. So we're back to the main menu, I think. Yes, we are. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the series. Hopefully you liked this episode. Like I said at the beginning, there is spoilers, so hopefully you've enjoyed. And if you didn't want to see how the war ended and carried on watching, you've ruined it for yourself. Don't blame me for it. So hopefully you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching it, guys. Thanks for all the support along the way. And we will return to U-Boat at some point soon.